Hello, welcome back to our Rule the Waves 3 playthrough of Italy starting in 1890, Mare Nostrum. In the last episode, we had another battle, and it looks like we managed to break the blockade because we are no longer hemmed in here by France. So we're starting to even things up in terms of raw tonnage. I think they have a couple of things that are in repair, so they're probably still ahead of us in pure fleet tonnage. Although, if our stuff that is in refit doesn't count, then we might actually be even. So I'm not entirely sure there. But as I've been reminded, the first thing I want to do today is do some spying on France. Maybe we can find out some information about them. I would also like to design an aircraft carrier. An aircraft carrier for the jet age, which kind of around the corner. We're starting to develop our first light jet fighters and whatnot now, but they're really not anything to write home about, but at least we'll be prepared. So let's design a new carrier. And it pretty much comes close to maxing us out already. So let's go up to 37,000 tons. Is that allowed? It is allowed. We have a lot of guns, but that's okay. Uh, we don't mind having the heavy AA on this because heavy AA is still kind of effective right now. We don't need all these medium AA. It's going to take up a lot of our top side capacity there, and that would not be great. Gives us 68 jet aircraft. Jet capable is checked. We have our two catapults. If we add two aircraft, bring us up to 70. That pretty much puts us dead even on weight, so that's pretty good. 2-inch belt is fine. A 2-inch deck, I think we can live with the 2-inch deck. If we took it down to 1 inch, that would let us fit a couple more aircraft on here. Let's go up to 75, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. We can stick with a 2-inch deck, save us from some shrapnel, some splintering, and if we went up to the maximum size here, again, give us about 4 aircraft. So we're gonna crank it back down here. Is there anything we can add? Anything we need? We could go with heavy AA. It doesn't AA directories doesn't actually help. Looks like the max is 4. So we'll stick with 4, which is the max. And we'll throw a little bit of ammo on here. It's not really necessary. They're 5-inch guns. They're no purpose. Actually, we can. There, we'll just do that. And I think this is probably fine. We probably want medium AA more than light AA at this point anyway. Our top side isn't bad. We have a little bit of weight remaining. We're at 3 radar, which is the maximum for now. And that gives us 70 aircraft. The Altair, the Paraiso, Astor, things I can't pronounce, the Vega. Oh, I like the Vega. It's a pretty short list. Um, let's go with the Vega class. I like the Vega. Although our some of our aircraft carriers were bird themed. We had the Falcon, the Condor, the Centauro. I don't think that is bird themed. Maybe we go with the 31 speed is pretty fast as well. Maybe we could, well, 31's fine. Keep us out of trouble. Although it would be faster than the escorts. So let's actually bring it down to 30 knots. And we can maybe just reduce the displacement a little bit to make up for it. There. That saves us a little bit of money. You know what? Let's go back up to 31. Yeah, 31's fine. If they're faster than the escorts, then I can just manually lower the speed. So let's go with how about we have the Falcon, the Condor. How about the Sparrow? Let's be the Sparrow class. Looks pretty cool. It's got those side vents for the engines. Very cool looking aircraft carrier. Very like almost late war Japanese look to it. Okay. Well, we're gonna keep this. There we go. We should be able to build two of those at a time, no problem for a while. They will be smaller than the aircraft carriers we have now in terms of pure aircraft, but they'll be carrying jets. So there you go. And let's see, let's save the game since we made a bunch of changes. Forgot to make a copy of the game. There we go. And let's see if we can get a fight. We're up to 52 prestige. We've got a good monthly balance going. So let's see what we get. Here's a cruiser action. We do have a Napoli. There it is, right there, actually. It's the Napoli itself. I'm going to put my battle cruiser up against whatever the enemy might have. We will attack ships with our aircraft because not too confident that we have many aircraft in the area, so we gotta attack with what we got. We got one base. The enemy has one, two, three, four, five bases in the area. So this might be pretty nasty. And then once we get control of our, there it is. We now have control of our ships. Get our destroyers into a torpedo launching formation. All right. I see what probably appears to be either heavy cruisers or battle cruisers. So let's take some shots here. Get our screens between the Napoli and the enemy. Maybe those are light cruisers. There seem to be quite a few of them. I think the Napoli can probably keep up. It might not be able to catch, but it should be able to keep up. And it's nighttime. Dang. Okay. Well, means we got to get closer, but we do have radar giving us a little bit of a clue about where the enemy might be. Not too keen on a knife fight here. We are scoring some hits on that destroyer there with 5-inch guns and 6-inch guns. So that might be a dead one. Okay. Looks like it is a bunch of light cruisers. So let's fire off a salvo here. See if we can't break them up a bit. Okay. All the way to our back destroyer and fire off another salvo. And we'll retreat a little bit. And that's not a great salvo. It really depends on the enemy going straight for a long time there. Oh, there we go. They turned back into the torpedoes, which is something I like to see. All right, Napoli can come back down. Because we're not generally going to fire at unidentified targets, I don't think. Although they are very likely to launch torpedoes at unidentified targets. Oh, here we go. Fire torpedoes. And tell you what, we'll do 2 salvos from our front ship there just to... There we go. And give them another. There we go. And we're probably going to take one on the Napoli. Nope, we managed to get out of there. All right, let's go home. I think we just killed a light cruiser. We probably heavily damaged a destroyer. Like right here, we just hit one with 5-inch guns. And some more. The Napoli is getting torpedoed. So now we're going to get out of here, I think. Yep, home is northeast. And we are flooding one of our ships, but maybe we can just go home at full speed. I'm going a little bit slow here because I'm looking for leaks, reports of leaks. And the signal back there is actually looking a little bit rough. It's not flooding, so we can lower the speed down to 6 and just send it home, and it should be good to go. Although the Napoli needs to come over here and protect it a bit. The Napoli is screening for the destroyer instead of the other way around. Actually, that's all right. Let's get him out of there. Oh, I don't like this. I am risking my battle cruiser to protect the destroyer. Looks like they are pursuing us a little bit here. I would assume that they also have radar to track us down in the dark, but I can use the Napoli here to screen like this. I can cut back like this, and hopefully that means they've lost contact with the signal, Cigno. Okay. And the weather is limiting air operations, so we hopefully won't get ambushed on the way home by air attack. All right, now we're just getting home. I feel like we should have sunk a light cruiser and maybe a destroyer or maybe even 2 destroyers. We'll see. All right. How do we do? We sank 2 light cruisers. Okay. You know what? That's cool with me. What did we get? Are they new? 1922 and 1932. So the 32 is a good kill. The 22, you're just, cleaning out their inventory for them. There we go. The Italia is back in service. Crush them completely. So new torpedo bombers ready to go. And we have a raider out here sinking merchant ships. Well, 2 can play at that game. The Napoli, it's in repairs, but next month, if I can remember. We're at 15 minutes, so we're good to go. And we are not blockaded, so that's pretty darn good. Battleship engagement. Lovely. Oh, lovely. We get 4 battleships. We get 4 carriers. This is going to be right off the boot heel of Italy. So we're attacking ships in general. Sea state limits float planes and sea state limits ship speed. Nothing about air. All right. So here's our battleship force. So we're going to go on AI control AI control, AI control, and all this stuff here. Get our cruisers on AI control. Um, Same thing here. We're gonna do these two destroyer formations as something flexible we can use, and we will. Let's see which carrier force is subordinate. This is carrier group 6, and this is carrier group 12. It's kind of weird. So this is the Falcon class. This should be subordinate. So we're gonna go with. Hmm. You know what? Yeah, we'll do core of Division 6. Just say fine. AI control. AI control. Oops. Core of Division 6, I said. AI control. That did it. Okay. Now we're going to go up to full speed. Well, we can't go up to full speed because we don't have control over our speed yet. But we're slapping all this other stuff onto AI control as escorts. And now that we have a lead formation, we can select our scouting. I want to go more to the right, just to make sure nothing's escaping us. We're going to go with a heavy cap. Pull the distance in a little bit here. This is probably fine. Do a 2-phase and a night search and night cap. Off they go. And we'll go forward 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3, 4, 5, and we will start to ready up some airstrikes. Okay. Now, just a matter of making contact. Waiting to get control. There's a radar contact. Okay. So now we go to line ahead on the destroyers, on the advanced destroyers. Go to line ahead. We're going to move to flank to either side. Battleships can go up to max speed, and carriers can go to max speed. And there go the scouts. All right, looks like we got some battleship contacts. So we're gonna go east here. See if we can't cross the T on the enemy here. And our destroyer formations are starting to break up. So we're gonna send both of these, like this little destroyer group, we're gonna send it south. See if we can't manually, physically scout out some enemy carriers. Alright, let's launch some torps. And we're spreading them out a bit here, as usual. It's midday, overcast. The map kind of almost looks like it's nighttime. But it's almost noon, so we have plenty of time to fight. And our destroyer is taking some hits, so we need to maneuver, change the bearing a little bit. And we just scored a 16-inch hit on that Suffering class. Suffering Succotash. 5-inch belt, that should, they should definitely feel it. Any reports yet? Not yet. Nothing other than what we already see. Okay. Just waiting on reports here. Need some information. We got more reports of battleships, alleged reports of carriers, so we'll just nose in here and see if we can't physically spot them. Um, yeah, that's the contact we want. All right. So we're gonna select ready. Got a nice group of attackers here. We're going to select as a target these two CVLs. We're going to do a coordinated strike and launch. They'll land at dusk. Okay. And we will select ready. This is a big torpedo bomber attack. And we will launch strike at the same targets. And our carriers are going to start moving pretty much straight south at this point to kind of decrease our recovery time so that when the aircraft are coming back, they don't have to fly quite as far. That might help us get in before nighttime, before dusk. All right, this is our gun line here. Absolutely pounding these heavy cruisers. Okay. Yeah, I bet that's a carrier group down there. Just look how far away it is. So let's get rid of all these excess reports because it's just reporting on the stuff that we already see here. And let's move our destroyers up for a nice little flanking hammer and anvil style torpedo attack. Scoring more hits on the heavy cruisers. 16-inch guns. Destroyer Group 5, that's these down here. Nope, that's these up here, the ones that are being shot at before. Medium bombers, dive bombers. I thought that was MB, but it's M. Maybe it is MB. Well, either way. So 4 enemy dive bombers launching missiles at Lepanto. Where is that? It should be in the rear. There it is. Let's grab control of one of our destroyer groups here, since the enemy is nosing into us at this point. We're line ahead. Get a squad max. Squared. And, we have the torpedoes. We may as well use them. And very speculative there. Very speculative. The enemy will have to keep going in a straight line for quite a while to make that work. But you never know. How does our main fleet look here? All right, yeah, the enemy's already turning, so that just torpedo salvo isn't going to do a whole lot. But we are starting to get out ahead of them now. Where are our bombers at? There, here comes the strike. There's the airstrike right there. Now we just need to catch them. All right, let's fire torpedoes, and this probably is our last salvo from this group. We fired once already, twice. Well, I don't know. We'll see. But I don't think these are going to reload. Oh, that's looking good. Nice. One hit. Not great. I was kind of hoping a little bit better, but you take what you can get. It's just one torpedo isn't really going to sink a battleship in this era, unless you get really lucky, and then if he gets really unlucky. But look at that. We just hit him with two 14-inch and one 16-inch, and the Italia just took an engine room hit. Let's see, another 14, another 16. 16, four 16-inch hits. You can see we still have torpedoes moving through their fleet there. Okay, Lepanto takes a hit. Gascon. The Gaston class. Is that all forward armament? It is. 17-inch guns. Yeah, let's get rid of that ship if we can. It's on fire, too. All right, so we can set these back on AI control. They fired off all their little torpedoes. We're going to grab another set of destroyers. And just like these ones here, we're going to try to get out ahead and do some speculative torpedo launches here. Ooh, we got enemy bombers. We got one group. It looks like they're torpedo bombers. Just looks like one torpedo bomber. And we scored some more 16-inch hits. Well, it's definitely more than one torpedo bomber because you can see how many we're shooting down. We have shot down 1, 2, 3, 4 of them already and damaged some others. Okay. And looks like our CVs are moving northeast, perhaps. Hopefully our aircraft will be able to hunt them down. Let's turn our battleships southeast. The Italia has limited flooding. So how are we looking here? We're 0 flooding. So we're pretty good to go there. Yeah, the problem is our airstrike might not find a target. They're going to have to go northeast, I think. Auto select a strike. Yeah, it's just not enough aircraft for it. Auto select. Yeah, there's just not enough. I don't have enough for an effective strike. And my aircraft are going the wrong direction to find the enemy, unfortunately. The Gascon is dead in the water. Now we're hitting another heavy cruiser with some 16-inch rounds there. Lovely. And now we're being approached by aircraft. All right, that's forcing us to maneuver. All right, we got another group of enemy aircraft coming in. Torpedo bombers again. Our cap is not as effective this time around. Let's turn back with our destroyers and try to get into a good torpedo position. And I don't really know. We have all these old reports. Okay. Yeah, our airstrike is just completely lost down here. They don't seem to know what the heck they're doing. So we're destroying aircraft and damaging them with heavy and medium AA, which is encouraging. It's kind of nice to see. This is before the era of having SAMs, so if your battleships are shooting down anything at all, it's a good sign. And let's do another scout. Pull the distance in, sticking with heavy cap. Just want to find the enemy uh, aircraft carriers, if possible. All right, looks like our aircraft are just going for whatever targets they can get. Because that's definitely going for the crippled battleship. Because it looks like we have completely lost the enemy aircraft carriers. Ooh, that's nice. That's the battle cruiser. That's not the battleship. Uh, we get it. The enemy battleship is dead in the water. You don't need to keep hitting it with all of your munitions. Yep. Yeah, it's eating a lot of torpedoes. There it is. It's gone. Now they have another target if they have anything left under their wings. Hmm. We have like no fresh reports at all about the carriers, so let's just turn them all off and see what we can get. And we'll have to spend a lot of time recovering aircraft. So I told my carriers to go kind of northeast, just to get away from shore, because I have to turn and go northwest in order to launch aircraft. I got to go into the wind here. But we're going to be spending a lot of time recovering aircraft for a while. And I don't know. I don't know where the enemy has fled to here. And nighttime's coming. I don't know. We might just have to get out of this fight because nighttime is here. So let's just go up to Taranto. We have no carrier reports. And the day is lagging along here. It is winter. All right. Well, it's not great. That is a very damaged destroyer. So I'm going to put it down to 6 knots and hope for the best. We are running out of ammunition on our battleships, so let's just start sending everybody home. We'll consider this a successful operation if we sunk the. Well, we definitely know we sank the battleship. Didn't really get a chance. We thought there were carriers out there. Okay, well, don't you dare. Okay. Oh, okay. So let's say attacking at night. I feel a little bit safer because they're not going to be as accurate. There's always the risk. Anytime your carriers are dodging torpedoes, it's a bad sign. All right. Yep. We're just going to head into port. Take this for whatever it is. Feel like yeah, we definitely sank a battleship. We probably damaged their a couple of battle cruisers, or at least one of them. Yep. Everybody go to port. Everybody go to port. And nighttime has arrived. Peaceful nighttime. Okay. So how do we do? We saved our destroyer. We sank an enemy battleship. We sank an enemy battle cruiser and a heavy cruiser. Nice. Two capitals and a heavy cruiser. I'll take it. Now we know there were carriers out there. So this thing here ate 14 torpedoes. And this old battle cruiser, 1917, flooded. Fair enough. I want to check the. So our air losses were fine. Then we lost 25 air to air. They lost 29 aircraft. We lost 9. I just want to view the map. Oh, I had my destroyers. Where were my destroyers? Did I have them like right here? I think I had them like right here. And it turns out, sneaky little, sneaky little ships they were hiding. Okay, well, in the game, 2 prestige points, 13,000 victory points. The Gulf of Taranto. Nice. Here's our new aircraft carrier. And the battle cruiser has finished its reconstruction. Nice. Our pilots are doing really well. Improved medium AA effectiveness and reduces medium AA topside load. Okay. So what we're going to do is, if I can remember to do it next time, because we're 40 minutes in, is we will rebuild, not rebuild, we will redesign the Sparrows. We have 2 more months on the design. We will redesign them with better radar, and we'll take advantage of that reduced medium topside load to make room for it. But we have the Napoli, which is ready to go now. So the Dante is going on trade protection. The Napoli is going on raider status. There we go. Now we have to do our air groups. We have to grab the Centauro. We're going to copy the air group and paste it. There we go. We're set. And now we can throw these into a division. They're not anywhere near ready for a fight or anything of the sort, but we will put them in a division so they can be all friendly and whatnot with each other. We got 6,000 extra monthly balance right now. It's only going to go up, so we should be able to start pumping out these sparrows at a pretty decent clip, and we also need to keep producing calypsos. So let's build 4 more calypsos now, actually. There we go. Just to start using up a little bit of that money so we don't get too much of it. All right, that's it. We're 40 minutes done. Nice battle. Check the almanac. See how France is doing over here. France isn't uh, France isn't doing too fantastic. They still got 9 heavy cruisers, which is a worry. But they only have 1 battle cruiser in service. They got some battleships. We're chipping away at their navy. We can start considering going after some of their territories. In fact, we could go after Tunisia. Let's set it as an invasion target. There we go. All right, we're done. That's it for now. I appreciate y'all for being here, and I will see you next time.